So how did former President Bill Clinton do tonight? Did he deliver the package?
There's no question he did what he had to do. Mission accomplished, we might say. One of the important things is that President Clinton brings a certain credibility and popularity that President Obama could share in this evening. President Clinton particularly connects with those Reagan Democrats. I mean, the theme of the convention tonight was clearly an appeal to the middle class, an appeal to blue-collar workers, an appeal to those Reagan Democrats. And Clinton has always been extremely popular with that group, and that's a critical group to win over, to keep and retain as part of the coalition for the president to win re-election this November. So President Obama can take advantage of that relationship with Bill Clinton and kind of ride Bill Clinton's coattails a little bit this evening. And the other thing that Bill Clinton clearly did and did effectively was he took on one after the other all of the criticisms, all of the complaints, all of the alleged weaknesses of the Obama administration. Whether it was, has Obama failed to deal with debt reduction? Has he kind of undermined the whole welfare to work movement? Has he not done enough for the economy? Is he too cool? Is he too distant? President Clinton addressed each and every one of those in great and meticulous and detail, but also with humor and with vigor and with passion. And so I think that he delivered exactly the goods that the president needed of him today.
He spoke on a key issue, and he was very particular about what he said was the cooperative, so to speak, cooperation or the constructive cooperation versus the constant conflict between the Democrats and the Republicans, and how it's important. And he even painted the picture of what he did, you know, during his presidency and after.
Well, he did, and he set it up nicely. What he was and what he was trying to do, to talk about how the lack of a bipartisan spirit, the fact that, and he quoted the Senate leader, said it's more important, the most important thing we could do is not cooperate with the president so that he fails and we can then elect a Republican. But Clinton set up his rebuttal so nicely, because he started off talking about the respect he had for a number of Republican presidents in the past, his own relationship with Republicans while he was president that enabled him to deliver on a number of his promises and to implement a number of his programs. And he said, but that's been lacking now. The Republicans are dead set against President Obama. So despite President Obama's desire to build a bipartisan bridge, the Republicans are not interested in that. And that's why some things haven't gotten done, or why it's taken longer to achieve certain objectives.
So what do you think President Obama needs to do? What is the challenge before him?
Tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow evening. What is now we've got the big Clinton speech. Now it's going to be his turn. So what does he have to do tomorrow?
And I tell you, hasn't the bar been set high?
Yes.
with his wife's speech
Yes.
Tuesday night, and now with President Clinton's speech? I think that he has to do a couple of things. Number one, he has to show the American people, in his own words, what has been achieved. He has to show that we are better off because he's been president than we were 4 years ago. He's got to demonstrate how he saved us from the precipice of financial disaster through the various steps that he took, whether it was embracing TARP, whether it was bailing out General Motors and Chrysler, and the stimulus package. He's got to show how that made a difference, and that he was in a very difficult position. But because of what was done over the last 4 years, we're in position now to have a new economic revival. So that's one of the things he has to do. He also clearly has to set the agenda for the future. What's going to happen in the next 4 years? One of the things that President Clinton criticized the nominee, Mitt Romney, and the Republican Party is for not saying exactly what they'll do. Saying, get back to me, as he said, after the election, and then I'll tell you. But we don't want to fool with those details now. Well, I think President Obama now has to provide